What's up, guys? It's your boy Mike from Seattle. Hey, that's my house. Yeah, I own both sides of this duplex right here. The sideways parked white truck, yeah, that's mine. Piece of crap. Anyways, I want to talk to you today about why Michael Zuber always says it's important to know your market.
You have heard me once, if not 1,000 times, talk about you need to learn your market. So you better bet that one of the challenges inside this 75-day challenge is going to be looking at your market every day.
Okay, 1,400 square feet aside. When I first bought the thing, only one side was rented for $1,600 a month. Okay, look at the neighboring duplex. This one is a mirror image of mine, exactly the same with one exception. There's that little window right there in the stairwell that added a little extra light in it. I'm actually in the process of schmoozing the owner of this one because I want to do seller financing on it and buy it because she has it way under rented. I got this $1,600 aside, got it up to $1,950 aside. This one's at $1,550 aside. But anyways, why I'm walking you out here from my house through the woods, because I want you to see why it's so important to know your market, okay? Michael Zuber says it all the time, know your market, know your market. But what does he mean? What does he mean? And why is it so important? Yes, you want to be able to have a good frame of reference to compare your real estate deals that you're looking at, houses, values, prices, location, all that type of stuff. If you're not constantly, working on building that stream of knowledge, it's a great dad joke, you're gonna leave yourself open to getting taken advantage of. There's one major reason why it's so important to know your market that he never goes over, and I'm gonna go ahead and explain it to you in this video. So if you actually want to learn something, if you want to just go watch some other video, do it, whatever, I don't care. But if you actually want to know the real reason why it's so important to know your market so that you don't miss out on a good opportunity, then stick around for 5, maybe 10 minutes at the most. Try not to slip through this mud here. I think I probably pulled something. Okay, you see this lake back here? You see this gorgeous lake right here with all the duck crap? Because these freaking ducks. What the flip, guys? Really? Really? You crap my style? Anyways, you can probably tell that it's your boy Mike from Seattle because it's July and we got overcast and a little bit of light showers. That's real nice. Anyways, the reason I brought you out here to this lake, the lake that's only a block and a half away from the $500,000 property that I own, is to remind you why Michael Zuber always says you need to know your market. And he gives you reasons like you need to know a good deal from a bad deal.
Your job as a real estate investor is to do good and great deals only. But unless you've completed the challenge or done something like this, how do you know? Even today, with the record low inventory, I promise you there are bad, average, good, and great deals.
You need to know a good, bad, and terrible deal. You need to know what the values of properties should be. If a 3-bedroom, 2-bath is selling faster than a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, or a 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath, you need to have an expert knowledge of your market, because if you're going to invest in real estate and invest tons and tons of time, effort, and money, more importantly, you don't want to get taken advantage of and miss something or make a bad purchase. But I want to explain to you the one thing that I don't think he mentions enough when talking about knowing your market, because for me, knowing my market meant something a little bit different than what he preaches daily. Now, he does touch on it, but it's not the main point that he highlights. But look, if you actually would rather just watch me slowly get rained on here, then stick around for 5 minutes, consider hitting the like button, subscribe, because I do provide all of this content for free. None of my stuff is monetized. I literally make these videos just so that I can have them one day to look back on at the complete journey from beginning with 0 properties to where I'm at now with 2, looking to buy 2 more right now. So, like, comment, subscribe, so that way I can get some interaction and actually push this out to more people, because I don't want people to get taken advantage of. Because that's really, honestly, if you spend any time on YouTube watching real estate videos, you could tell that the large majority of them are just trying to take advantage of people. Anyways, why is it important to know your market? The reason that hits home for me, and I'm going to explain with my duplex. When I was looking for that duplex, I looked for probably 2 to 3 months. I had a real estate agent sending me MLS listings. I was on realtor.com. I was on Zillow. I was Googling. I was driving around. I was trying to find a property. And I knew the market. I knew what things rented for. I was ready to buy a property that needed to be repaired. I was ready to buy a property that was already turnkey and ready to go. I was willing to buy a property that had tenants in it and ask one of the tenants to leave or not renew their lease so I could move into it as an owner-occupied loan. I was willing to buy a completely empty, vacant property and rent it myself. I was ready to do whatever it took to get the property. And I kept looking and kept looking and kept looking, and I couldn't find something. I couldn't find anything that made sense. And one day I was out at a property in Sumner, which is not the city my property's in, and I was looking at this duplex, and it was just, it was gross, needed a whole bunch of work, and I was like, the numbers I guess kind of work, but it's right next to these train tracks, and it's on the corner of a busy street. Oh, do I really want this one? No, I really don't. And then my real estate agent says, hey, something just came on the market. It's close by. It's in another city that I know to be a very, very beautiful, nice city with this gorgeous lake. Not that I knew how close to the lake the property was, but I was like, yeah, let's go check it out. And I went and I showed up and it had one unit empty and the other unit was full. Well, that works great. I don't have to worry about a lease running out as I try to do an owner-occupied loan. So I was immediately interested from that angle. Next thing I learn is the property and its location. We roll up and I'm like, holy smokes. We're like a block away from the lake, from the public access point that I'm sitting at. And then I realized that there's trails running out of the backyard into the hiking forest area that take you to the park and the skate park and the soccer fields and the public access point. And I'm like, wait a minute. And this thing's only listed for $450,000? What? I knew right then and there I absolutely had to buy that property. And why did I have such confidence? The reason is because I'd been researching the market every single day and looking at everything else, and this was the best deal. The most important thing about why you need to know your market, a lot of real estate investors are afraid to get started. People say they want to invest in real estate. People have the money set aside. People have read the books. They're watching the YouTube videos. They've heard all of the experts, and they keep saying, oh, I want to get started investing in real estate, but I'm just looking for that right property. If you're not doing your due diligence to learn your market, when that property that I would have guessed is $50,000 under what it actually could sell for, if you're not doing that due diligence, then when that miracle deal pops up on your plate for the first time in 3 months and you need to go see it right now, and I put an offer on it, the thing went off the market within 12 hours. I put an offer on it. 2 or 3 more offers came in immediately after I put my offer on, and luckily, we got it. Okay, so the second most important reason that never gets talked about why it's important to know your market, and another way you should know your market, is you need to be up to date on what properties in certain areas rent for. That way you can look at an existing property and know definitively, is this under fair market value for rents? Am I buying a house like the one that I bought, the duplex that I bought, which had people living in it for $1,600 a side, when I knew without a shadow of a doubt that I could get that rented for $1,800? And I had suspicions it could go even higher. Right now it's rented for $1,950. I got it rented 1 year after I bought it for an additional $350 a month extra per side. And I was still under market value because I wanted to leave myself the ability to pick from the cream of the crop of good tenants. So I actually dropped it below the $2,050 that it probably could have rented for. Lastly, it's gone up even more since then. Looking at similar properties in the same area, I'm finding things $2,200, $2,300. This thing could be a cash cow. But if you don't know your market rent and the average rents in different areas for different properties, you're gonna miss out on that, or it's gonna be just a guessing game. So it's very important to know what things rent for. Now, how do you know what things rent for, right? It's easy to know how you can do research on a property and learn your market that way, right? You go on realtor.com or Zillow or the MLS listings and you just look at them and you compare and contrast different values, different neighborhoods, different areas, and you find that good, great, and bad deal. But how do you learn fair rental values? Personally, I go on Craigslist and I just Google 3-bed, 2-bath in the city, and I look at everything. I try to find the most similar square footage, similar bedroom and bath numbers, and also you need to know your area, because if I'm comparing a 3-bed, 2-bath that's right on the lake versus on the other side of the highway, well, there's gonna be some discrepancies there. So you wanna compare the most like-kind properties you can. You add up 10 of them together, divide it by 10, and find your average rent. And that's what I did. And my average rent for a property in this area that matched my duplex was $2,050. I dropped it $100 to $19.50 and easily got it rented within 2 weeks to a qualified tenant who has never missed rent a single time in a year, has paid on time every time, no issues, and we're now renewing his lease. And the only thing he's asked is, hey, can I do some improvements on the house? Obviously, I'll write in a contract that you get any and all improvements, but I just want to personalize it a little bit more because I like it so much here. Yeah, if you want that experience with your tenants, then please watch some of the rest of my videos, because honestly, like, I'm so much better at TikTok than YouTube. But like, I'm trying here, guys, you know what I mean? Why is it important to know your market? Because when that property, when that rental came across my desk, and I say desk because it's a phrase that we're all familiar with, but in reality, it was while I was sitting at work in my car, scrolling through my emails. So when it slid across my email notifications, and I saw it, I went, holy smokes, this is such a great opportunity that I can't afford to miss it. That is the key reason why you need to know your market like the back of your own hand, because you will see a deal that is so good that you cannot afford to miss it. Maybe it's even so good that you say there's no way it's real, and you got to do a little research first. But when you see that deal, you won't have to talk yourself into it. You won't have any apprehension. You won't have an analysis of paralysis, because you've already analyzed so many other things that you look at this and you go, holy freaking cow, this is it. I gotta take some action. If you have not bought your first property yet, leave a reason down below. Is it because you don't have the credit yet? Is it because you haven't saved up the down payment? Or is it because you're looking at deals and you're not sure what you should buy? And if that's the reason, then rewatch this video, like, so I can explain it again. We'll catch you next time.